Welcome to Get to the Point. I'm your host, Jessica Spahn, and I'm excited today to bring you a show highlighting the importance of recreation and community, brought to you by the Keller Pointe. Join us each episode and be inspired as we bring you conversations with community leaders who share their experiences, expertise, and explore the role that recreation plays in sustaining well-being and success. What are we waiting for? Let's get to the point. Hello, welcome to Get to the Point. I'm your host, Jessica Spahn, and we have a very special guest with us today. He's actually been at the Point since the beginning. So I'm going to introduce to you our favorite friend. And what should we call you? Karate Sensei? Like, what's your title officially?
Official title, Sensei.
Sensei Chris? Is that what you're called usually? Okay, so Sensei Chris is our special guest for the day.
Thank you. That's actually true. I actually started working with the City of Keller's Parks and Recreations Department in 2002.
Okay.
And so when the Point opened in 2004, we had already had 2 years of programming. We already had a large student base. And when we moved over to the Point, we just exploded. And so it's been, since 2004, we've had all of our classes there, except for COVID when we were at the park next door. Mm-hmm. But we are the longest and largest ongoing program through the Keller Pointe and the Parks and Recreation Department. And we're really proud of that relationship.
And we're grateful to have you.
Oh, we're so happy. It's been awesome. It's been awesome. So I've seen so many changes go through the Point, and it just keeps getting better.
So tell me a little bit. I'm not familiar with karate. So to people who maybe don't know about it and have some children who might want to go, or you do as adults as well. So kind of explain what the process looks like and what would someone who knows nothing about it, what would they expect to learn, or how would you go about explaining that?
So we want to offer just a really good martial arts experience to anyone who comes on our mats. So we do have programs in karate, which is the punching and kicking and throwing people down. We also have fun. It is really fun, very physical. We also offer Aikido programming, which is a little bit more joint manipulation, balance shifting to cause people to fall down.
That sounds fun too.
That's also very fun. It's also physical. It's just it's not as exertive. It's a great balance. You always think about the yin and yang, the hard and the soft, and we think karate is more of a hard style and the Aikido is more of a soft style. And it's just a nice balance. And what we do is we allow anyone who's a part of the martial art program through the Keller Pointe to participate in both programs. So you can train in both programs, rank in both programs, or focus on one.
Okay.
It's all included in the price for signing up for the program.
Okay, so because I know we were chatting, we're going to be launching a self-defense course in the fall, and so I was wondering,
which is going to be different. I'm going to be very clear. The martial arts course really takes into some of the cultural trainings, the ritual, the character
I was going to ask you what's kind of different about that.
All of those things that kind of go into.
Because can karate actually teach you to be defensive against any attacker?
Absolutely, but there are some more sport combative things that we might do that are not for self-protection.
Okay.
The self-defense, self-protection course, we're going to go into the legal concepts of self-defense as well as very practical, tactical things to just create an exit opportunity.
Okay.
And that's
because that's the goal.
And really,
the goal is to get away from the situation.
Right. And the ultimate goal is that we think about the ABCs: awareness, boundaries, and then there's the 4 C's of cover, combat, control, and clear.
Okay.
The ABCs. If you get awareness right, you don't have to ever get physical.
Okay.
But we will cover the physical stuff because people want to know that.
Yeah.
It's but honestly, if you're doing the right awareness and you do the right boundaries, you don't have to worry about those things as much. So we'll just focus on that physical, hone in on those escape strategies. Whereas the martial arts is a little bit more of it's a cultural, holistic exploration of the physical as well as the mental trainings, the character development aspects, some of the cultural histories, where the arts came from and things like that. So the martial arts training kind of encompasses all that. And the self-defense is really laser focused on where's the door, how do I get out that door?
Yeah, I love that. And so, I know we were going to touch on this at the end, more of the self-defense you're going to show me.
You're going to learn 2 cool things.
I'm going to learn 2 cool things at the end, so you guys are going to have to hang in there and watch it till the very end. But in the meantime, though, with kids going off to college, do you have advice for the parents at all, besides saving
learn
karate or
save up?
Save up. Since they're
I have a kid in college, so I can speak up. So, 2 things when they're going off to school. One is have the hard conversation with them. about, letting people know where they're going and when they should be back. Make sure they understand, they have those conversations about how they approach drinking and driving and being around other people and having a buddy system. So it's that's the best advice I can give anyone. It's like, make sure your kid knows to let someone know where they're going and when they'll be back.
Okay.
The other piece of advice I always love to give people is just like, don't go anywhere by yourself.
Done that. Guilty.
Just, walk across campus. Most schools have programs.
A pin. Yeah.
Most schools have a program where you can call someone who can walk you and stuff like that. Just, common sense. Sometimes it's annoying and everyone feels like they're running behind and they're late, but take that extra time and do that. A bonus thing for that is, have a flashlight.
Yeah, and we're gonna demonstrate that at the end because I want to keep a little mystery in this one.
Right.
So you have been here for a long time with us, and we're grateful for your loyalty. So talking about the COVID you were mentioning, and coming out of that, you guys had kind of changed it up during that time, but post-pandemic, we're back. Fully functioning. You guys are in the facility, 3 days a week, right? Tuesday evenings, Thursday evenings, Saturday mornings, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So how has it been bouncing back from that? Have a lot of the people been like super eager to return? How's it affected the community? I know you mentioned like having fun is really important. So I don't know, what's your take on what it's like now versus how it was like before?
The community sense is stronger than ever. The people who are coming to class and participating in the group training, you can just tell they value that. Many of them who were training during COVID were with us at the parks or when we were doing things on Zoom online. And we could be close, but you weren't making as much physical contact.
Yeah.
We did a lot of weapon stuff. We were putting pads on the end of sticks and kicking them into shields and dodging them into parks.
You got creative.
We were creative. We were doing sword work out in the park, and people would see us doing that in canes and want to stop. And it was really interesting. But coming back, you can just sense there's been that sense of just appreciation to be able to get back. And then as more people got vaccinated and more people feel comfortable being back and making physical contact, just that physical connection while you're going through this kind of, it can be meaningful because sometimes it's hard.
Right.
We always try to make it fun, but it's always meaningful as you're stressing your body, you're stressing your mind, you're going through this arduous program to get to a better place of competency and confidence, right?
Okay.
So there's that level of appreciation. We're still getting people who are coming back. We've been back over a year now, physical classes inside the Point. And just this week, I had a family of 5 who said, okay, we're ready to come back now.
Yay!
And so I'm so happy to get them, and their mom and dad even said they were going to try it for the first time. So I'm really excited about that. And I think that just as people have returned to more of a sense of normality, we've seen that level out. And obviously, as the Points facility continues to improve itself and grow, more foot traffic comes in. Our greatest source of discoverability is not all the Facebook ads I run or Google, which is good.
It's the posts that I share. I'm just kidding.
Honestly, you're amazing at that. Kudos to you for that.
Well, we love you guys.
But honestly, it's that walk through traffic. People walking into the Point, discovering the facility, looking down that hall and seeing the people in the pajamas.
Well, I love the big banner you guys put up. That's very smart. The banner, I think it was on a Saturday I came in, and you guys had that big banner right there at the front desk area.
Yeah, come watch a class. It literally just says, come watch a class.
Yeah.
And everyone who comes in, by all means, come in, have a no obligation, risk-free experience. One of the things that makes our program unique versus other martial art programs like at strip centers and in the warehouse districts, we're not going to charge enrollment fees. We don't put them under long-term contracts. We really believe at being a part of the community means just being very accessible.
And the value's there itself, so they'll stay.
If they see the value, if they have a good experience, they're going to stay. So I've never had to rely on contracts in my 18 years of doing this to keep people coming back for more.
And so on that note, with the families and coming back, you'd mentioned to me earlier, we were having a conversation, and you said that there have been some families that you've had their children or the children's children. I forget what you were saying. So multi-generational.
It has been multi-generation. So some of the kids that started with me in the early 2000s have kids now in Keller, and they're coming in, and it's an absolute blast to be able to see this generational aspect. Because my father was a black belt, and then I was a black belt. My wife is a black belt. My oldest son is a black belt.
So don't mess with you guys, right?
No, it's not that. It's just there's a generational thing that you see that. In martial arts, you think about your lineage a lot.
Yeah.
So You think about who taught you and then who taught them, and you can trace these things back to these historical figures. And it can be really, really cool to know that you're part of something much bigger than you.
Well, you are. I mean, there's that, and then the community itself in the point.
Exactly, the community sees that as well, and that's one of the things that we love about it. Is like, we go out in Keller and the surrounding areas. We run into families, current families, former families. Sometimes they'll introduce us to what becomes future families. All from just being part of the community. And I got to say, being in Keller, we moved to Keller in 2001 when we found out we were having our first child.
Oh.
And right after that, I started to work with the city of Keller in the Parks and Recreation Department. And my kids have gone to Keller Public Schools, graduated from Keller Public Schools thanks to the Keller High School Band.
Yeah.
My oldest son has an amazing scholarship.
Awesome.
So I'm so happy and pleased to be a part of the community that's given our family so much.
So you're part of creating the community of the big goal in that the mayor had mentioned of being the most family-friendly community in Texas or whatever. So you guys kind of just were like organically, everybody's just kind of just showing up in Keller, and it's just becoming that.
It is, and I love the new centers that are being built in Keller, and just more bike paths. But other than that, I'm really excited about where things are going, the improvements to the Keller Pointe. We're certainly seeing improvements on our programming, and it's just been an amazing last couple of years. Because during COVID, we didn't know how it was going to work out, how people were going to feel about being around each other and breathing out. But people masked up, people spread out. We were outside. That's blessed. Texas falls and winters are pretty mild.
Not summers.
Summer was, fortunately we didn't have to go through too much of an outdoor summer for the training session there. But honestly, we have such a great room. I mean, 2,600 square feet in our room, all those mats, all those heavy bags.
That's
we have
the
so much
event space that we have there. So you basically utilize all three of the rooms because we can open them up into one giant room.
And we need that room. And we need that much space because we've got a lot of people on the mat who are moving around, they're doing takedowns and throws, they're working things.
Yeah, and then everybody's kind of lined up around the walls watching and stuff.
Yeah, it's really kind of cool. But again, we have so much space, and we're not having to charge an arm and a leg because it's like at a retail location. And that's what I always go back to why it's so great to be at the point where our people are practicing, and it's good for us. It's good for us that we don't have to have these contracts and things like that.
Yeah, because it's about partnerships, I think.
Exactly. But while our kids are training, parents are out, they're using the exercise floor.
Yeah.
They're on the basketball court.
Walking the track.
They are maybe getting coffee. They're
maybe they sneak off to the dog park and hang out with it. Well, it's a little hot right now, but
Maybe they sneak off, maybe they come back. But sometimes we have parents who are training and they're using the stay and play. Or their kids are in the stay and play, or some of the older kids are using the basketball court. And so regardless of where they're at in their family life, there's something at the point.
Something for everyone.
While they're, a member or the family is taking our class. And one of the things I'm so proud of is that the majority of our adults are all either former kid students who moved to the teen and adult class, or their parents who got in there and saw the way Martina Sensei, my partner, and I teach, and they're like, I can do this.
Yeah.
So,
okay, wait. So we had an event recently for May the 4th, right? May the 4th be with you, or was it Revenge of the 5th? I'm not sure which one.
We did May the 4th.
Okay, it's, one and the same to me, but I know. Sorry, guys. I'm not one of the fans, but I'm excited people are excited about it. So did you bring any props to display anything fun related to that day?
We did that. So
it was a surprisingly large crowd, and again, apparently I'm missing out on something, and maybe I should get into it.
So for May the 4th, we had our Battle Sabers Temple Day, where people could come dressed as their favorite Star Wars character.
It was interesting.
Obi-Wan. And we were able to do a lightsaber training class. And so and what's fun though is, our kids brought things like we use these padded sabers almost every month in our classes, so the kids can learn how to use these sabers.
Okay.
And I think they're really fun. They're padded, so no one gets really hurt when we start swinging them if it doesn't break the wall. But it's really kind of cool because we're able to teach them how to spin and flip and take it from one side to the other. We teach them attack patterns that can come from Filipino martial arts or Japanese martial arts. So they're learning traditional martial arts. They're developing attributes like dexterity and agility and coordination that goes to that hand-eye coordination. They're getting all of those things, but they think they're just having fun with lightsabers.
Right.
And that's really kind of fun. And, we do the same thing in the adult class,
I was going to ask, you mentioned the cane earlier.
You know what's so funny? Everyone laughs at the cane until, I would say, they laugh at it until they get hit with it. But it's a big stick with a hook, and we teach this in the adult program, and you're able to do all sorts of interesting things with hooks.
So this is for people
covers.
who don't necessarily need canes. They just want to look older.
They don't want to look older. They want to have a tool they can carry with them anywhere, even on a plane. But you get all the jokes about the old man with the cane. But sure. But it's so much more practical than teaching someone how to use a nunchuck or a sai or a bow staff.
Hey, my friend's mom growing up always carried a golf club when she walked her dog.
Exactly. And so this is something you can carry with you easily. Incredibly practical, incredibly tactical, the things that we do. I've enjoyed taking the cane and kind of expanding that out. I've gotten the chance to teach that in the UK and Australia and
really?
In the US. So it's really been fun. But I will say probably one of my favorite things has been what we've learned to do and what we teach with the flashlight.
The flashlight.
It's so funny. I know it's just kind of bright, but it's easy to carry. But it's the only self-defense tool that extends your awareness. And that's a comment that my partner Oliver made once. And I was like, that's brilliant. And you can use it to find keys in your purse, look for things around your car.
Yeah.
Maybe someone in your car. You have the chance to do that. And the ones we use are incredibly bright. Like at 20 feet, you can't walk towards this. It hurts too much.
Okay.
And then if someone does get in, it actually works like a kubotan. It's a practical attack tool, which, again, very simple pattern. You don't have to know 5,000 things to do with it. You can just know 3 angles and be really, really good really fast.
Well, before we get to that part, because I know we want to end with that, I would like to discuss communications, because we do on every single show. And since it's the time of year when college students are registering for their classes, I thought it would be a really fun throwback to discuss, since, both of us are not 18 anymore.
Well, obviously, because I have a cane.
Well, right, I know. I mean, I'm not there yet. So, but yeah, what registration was like, because I know they're in the middle of their the college kids who are going off to school, and they're registering for classes. I kind of wanted to share our experiences so they know what pain, the uphill and snow both ways barefoot story. So what was your experience like when you were registering for college courses?
So I had 3 very distinct experiences.
Okay.
The first was you get your course book and you find out like the table numbers, and you would go to this big pavilion and run around to the different tables and try to get physically entered into the logbook for the class you wanted at that slot.
So you had to like handwrite it?
Handwrite that out. And these were physical tables and physical cards. So, and then at the end of college, it was all based on phone calls. So you had this IVR, interactive voice response system, that you would go into and enter in your codes, but you had busy signals and you might enter in the wrong number. And then when I was in graduate school, it was the first of the online registration systems. And I was like, this
Wait, was it dial-up still though? Like,
oh, of course it was dial-up back then, but still. And I think that's what actually led me to have like a career in technology.
Right,
I run product teams now, and I'm really enjoying where the technology is at.
Multifaceted person here.
So it's we all have to be many different things to be interesting. Yeah. But I find I just find that school, because I talk to my oldest son who's in college now, and everything's online, and it's very graphical. And
I'm surprised they don't just have to think it and it becomes nowadays.
I'm sure somebody's written a bot.
Give it like 5 years.
I'm sure somebody's written a bot that does this for you. But I think majority, it is so important though when they think about that college preparation is, again, have a plan.
Yeah.
Plan these things out, work the plan.
Buddies.
And honestly, that's one of the things that I think that helps people in martial arts is we help them figure out to come up with a plan. And it can be if you're in this situation, then this or that can happen. But it's in how do you then prepare for testing? It's like, well, I have to practice these particular skills to go to these particular ranks. And I think that's an important thing. And that's one of the things I think is a benefit to martial arts is our ranking system, right? People love to earn belts. I mean, in a world where everyone is...
Yeah, I don't understand the belts. Help me. Yeah.
In a world where, people kind of lament the fact that everyone may get a trophy for some participation things. And
Keller got our trophy for Fit City Challenge recently. And you guys were a big help with that, pushing those through. So yay to trophies. I'm a huge fan of earning them.
I am too. And I love that you said earning, because I always ask
you feel better when you do that anyway.
Ask the kids, what's the difference between me giving you something and you earning something?
Value.
And it's like, then they'll immediately say, one I had to work for.
You value it. Anything I earn, I definitely appreciate much.
Right. So we do these things to help build that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Because if people want the character development in the martial arts, it really comes from that sense of accomplishment. So
and knowing, and it's like a challenge, and then achieving and challenge and achieving, and it gives you that mindset when you go out into the world that you can conquer things that you might not think you can.
Exactly. And I think it's important, though, that you have to have your curriculum has to say, you have to achieve these things by doing these specific skills, right? So we have certain forms or certain combinations you learn at each level, which we recognize with stripes. So you may go from yellow belt to gold belt, orange belt, and each time you earn like 5 or 6 stripes on the journey. So you're constantly getting recognized for work along the way, but then you get the big achievement, which is what the testing is. And then we go through the different colors.
Okay.
And I know you'd asked about what the colors meant.
I mean...
So there's an interesting thing. So most people believe that the colors came from the idea that early martial artists never washed their belts. So they eventually turn green and then turn black. And look,
why would it turn green?
Just filthy. But you're talking about like the cultures that the martial arts developed in were incredibly clean and hygienic. So that doesn't hold water.
Yeah.
So the actual story is actually color belts were developed by the founder of judo, Hiragano Kano, who got the idea from the swim team.
I was a swimmer, so...
He saw that what they did at the university was they put colored ribbons to represent the level of the swimmer.
Yeah.
And he was like, done, and taking it. And martial arts has a great history of being able to look at something that works well somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And use it.
And the smartest people in the world do that.
And that's that's utility. And that's where color belts come from. And we appreciate Kano for doing that, and we appreciate whoever came up with that for the swim team, because it makes life so much better. I love colored belts and moving through the ranks. I love seeing people get that sense of accomplishment when that new belt is tied on. And
because they get that pride that comes with it, with having earned it. And then again, that mindset, the tenacity that thinks, I can do this, I can do that.
Right, I can break a board, I can do this math problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I can do 10 push-ups, I can
start a business.
I can start a business, yes.
I was like, I wrote a kid's book with no experience in kids' books years ago. I was just like, I want to write a kid's book. And I did. And I self-published, and it did well.
And done is better than perfect. Right? And that's another thing. In martial arts,
I mean, mine's pretty close. But.
Well, we always stress that it's never going to be as pretty as you want.
Yeah.
You know, we'll do randori, and aikido, where you've got 3 or 4 people coming at you, and you're spinning, and people are following, and you're protecting yourselves. It's never going to look as pretty as it does on TV, but I always say, is it pretty effective? If you're walking off the mat, you're feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
It's that sense of accomplishment. And, you know, whether or not you're moving up a rank, or whether you're just having a good class. Yeah. Or maybe you're just having a class where you're a little bit challenged, but you feel like every time I come on that mat and leave, I'm a little bit better. Yeah. And I'm surrounded by a group of people who are all motivated. And this is what I love about martial arts.
Yeah, you definitely want that kind of community.
You do, that community, because you know what? If I've got 10 people testing, I've got 10 belts. It's not like you're trying out for a spot on a select team. Everyone, regardless of their physical attributes or their outlook, they can find something on the mat that can help make them better, and they can be on their own journey. And ultimately, we all have to take the journey. No one can take the journey for us, but we don't have to take the journey alone.
Correct. Absolutely. Community. So I had a question. Yep. What's your most interesting story that you can think of that pertains to Keller Pointe? Anything humorous that happened? I'm just throwing you this one. I didn't ask in advance.
Humorous. I've had so you mentioned the doggy dunk to me.
Yeah. And you've got a dog.
I've got a dog. So a couple of years ago, we did have it was like a Labrador that somehow got into the point after the doggy dunk and got on our mat. And so that was...
So it was by itself, just hanging out?
It came on the mat, and it was, we were chasing it around. It was kind of like chasing a grease pig.
Labs love water.
The kids were no fun.
Oh, yes, the doggy dunk. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's actually coming up on September 10th, and we're going to start promoting it soon.
You should. It's
so much fun.
It is. It's one of the sweetest events that I think that the Point does. It's great to see all the dogs.
Because who doesn't love animals?
Oh, who doesn't love animals? I mean... It's always running when I'm teaching classes, so I don't get to always watch it. But
because it's a Saturday morning. Cancel your class for that. Come on. Bring your class out.
Come to this Point, see the dog. You don't come by our class.
Exactly. That sounds better. That's a better idea. Well, show me how. We're going to stand up, and you're going to show me what to do if I need to protect myself here, because
Let's just say that you're jogging.
Okay.
And it's at night.
Okay. Which you would never do alone, by the way.
You shouldn't do alone.
We just talked about the buddy system.
Right. So we're going to talk about that. I really like these. These are night courses. These are about 750 lumens.
Okay. So let's say I'm like walking to my car and it's kind of late.
That's great. So
like.
So here's what I would recommend. So maybe you walk up to your car and you're like, okay, I'm walking up. Maybe I just want to turn on and just look in the back seat.
Okay.
You can do that really kind of a quickly thing.
Just make sure no one's in there.
Yeah, exactly. Now let's just say here's a hypothetical. I'm also in the parking lot and maybe I'm a few feet away, and I'm starting to come towards you, and you're feeling a little uncomfortable, right?
Oh yeah, been there.
Right.
Especially in Bishop Arts.
Exactly.
There's some people out there. I'm like, go away. This is borderline assault.
Right.
Like I would love to be able to know how to get them off.
So there's a lot of escalations. But you have this here and it's up and it's ready to go, so that you can use words like, hey, I need you to stop.
Yeah, like hello.
And what you say and the body language we use, like you don't go anywhere in the world.
You can come a little closer if you want.
So
just for the.
But you're telling me to stop right now.
Oh, hold on.
There you go.
Here we go. Just so our viewers can see us a little better.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
So what I would recommend is we're just going to do a simple pattern.
Okay.
We're just going to go up and touch your ear. To bring that.
But so what do I do with this arm?
Oh,
I'm telling them to stop.
Stop.
I'm telling them do not get closer to me.
But if they don't, this one sort of acts like a shield. Here I can use this. I can turn the light on or off quite easily. Thumb on, thumb off. That's awesome. I would aim it towards their eyes.
Yeah, which I won't do to you right now.
I
that's
appreciate
just me. We'll be like.
But what we can do here, this arm becomes like a shielding type motion. Most people.
How far out do you put it?
I don't let my elbow lock, but I
want it to be close.
But I just think it's like a garden hose filled with water,
and it keeps the distance.
Yeah, just to keep the distance.
Far enough. Okay.
So if I'm right-handed and so most people are, and I reach in, you've got this hand so easily can kind of move out here,
and then
you just got that. Now if the situation where you feel like your life is in danger, you're hurt, you may need to use a strike. And so there's a simple 3-pattern strike that we like to use. So all we're going to do is I'll just show you, we're just going to go down from one ear, down from the other, straight down the center.
Okay.
So we're just going to make an X.
So I'm going to go. What does this arm do?
In the meantime,
same thing?
It's just kind of
right
here.
So I'm just kind of like, I go down here.
Come up on the other side.
Up over here.
Yeah, down on that side.
Down here.
Back up to the middle.
And then up here.
Straight down.
And then straight down?
Correct.
Like that feels like a really long time to get somebody hit. Though.
Well, but the thing is, you won't do all 3.
Oh, okay.
See, what's cool about the drill?
Hold on. I have to do this first, and then this first, and then this first, and then this first.
Completion of the category.
And then I can get you.
Exactly. So if you come in and you're just bang right there, then that's fine.
And where are you trying to hit them? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to dismember anybody or blind them necessarily.
Again, you want to create an opportunity.
Unless it's someone who's like truly a really bad person.
I like to think in terms of quadrants.
Okay.
So you you would think of like this upper quadrant, really anywhere from like kind of the shoulder or the traps to this side here. That's a quadrant.
This, okay.
Yeah. Or that quadrant.
So I'd be going from my right hand. I'd be going to your left or to your right.
You'd be going on my left side.
And I'd be going cheekbone, ear, eye, where?
Don't try to hit a specific target.
Don't think. You don't have time to think. You're just through. Get away.
Exactly.
Okay.
But if you had the hand, if it was over on this side, you would come in from this angle. So it's not that you're trying to do all 3. It's just you practice.
3 options.
It's like wherever your hand's at. You may just go straight in.
Okay.
You may want to vector and turn off a little bit from the right, or if you were down here, maybe coming in from the left is a little bit.
Okay.
It could be that they're like, I was grabbing you and trying to pull you.
And so then
then you just take that right to my wrist. Bang,
I would have done your hand probably.
Exactly.
But...
You could hit my hand, my wrist, bang, bang.
Ooh, I'd go twice. I wouldn't even...
Exactly.
That's why we're going to have a self-defense class.
Absolutely. These are some of the things that we'll cover off on there. But again, it doesn't take, 10,000 kicks to be able to do something effectively.
And okay, so the flashlights, what, Amazon?
Amazon.
Okay, so we can put the info, I guess maybe in the show.
I'll give you the link to my favorite brand.
Yeah.
And I don't see.
Because I'd love to equip people, because that's such a basic, because I am alone sometimes. Like I'm all over the place. And if I go to film festivals, I'm usually with a friend who walks me to my car, but sometimes I've learned. I had a stalker, so I have had to learn things. But I learned things the hard way, apparently. So this is the easy way to not have to find the hard way out. So just buy one of these, keep it on your wrist if it's nighttime, even if you're just at the grocery store, right?
Accessible, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I keep one in my truck just so I have access to it while I'm there. I've got one in my computer bag.
Okay.
There's sample. Again, it's the tool that extends your awareness.
Okay.
And you'll use it all of the time.
I'm excited to get mine. Now I hope I never have to use.
I hope you don't.
I don't mind the light part. I hope I don't have to use it.
Right.
Though. But so what else do you want to mention? We're gonna on the self-defense classes. Anything else you want to mention that we're going to look into exploring when we do start those up?
Well, we're definitely going to work on how to use that to range, but also just some common types of verbal de-escalation drills.
Okay.
So that we'll talk about like what to say and how to say it.
Okay.
Again, the practice of that is so important.
Yeah, because I've been harassed before, like by like a homeless person. They'll like come up to me, like in Bishop Arts. This particular person was like right up on me, and I was like, no, like leave me alone. But I didn't know how to actually what I needed to do. I literally just like went to my car and sat in my car and was scared.
Right. So
I didn't know
what you were
to do.
experiencing there was the adrenaline.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so we call it the chemical cocktail.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I think is important about the way the class and the experience can work is you can stimulate some of that adrenaline in the class, so it's not as overwhelming.
It's really like
when you have, because there's that idea of flight, fright, freeze.
Yeah, I tend to be a freezer.
Exactly. So some people do.
Yeah.
Some people want to fight. Some people want to run. But some people freeze.
I wish I was a fighter. Like I'm more like.
But honestly, the most important thing is not the fight. I mean, it's just like, how do you keep your wits about it? How do you control your
awareness
breath?
of your.
As long as you're breathing, you're thinking. As long as you're thinking, you have options. Mm-hmm. And that's really what we'll go into. So there's so much of the vocabulary that we'll go through is about the mental training.
Yeah, I love that.
But there's also going to be a fair amount of some physical things as well, because one, it's important to know what your body is capable of doing and the power you can generate. How you break a board or whatever. But how you keep the mental clarity to be able to recall those things. Yeah. And the best way to do that is by giving you a couple of things that work really well. Yeah. And then we drill them in a couple of different ways so it doesn't get boring. Okay. And then, but then it really comes down to, and the reason we want to do this, the free experience and then offer an ongoing course is to reinforce. Yeah. So you get the chance to kind of drill that in so it kind of becomes ingrained.
Yeah, I love that. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it and need it.
Yeah, I'm excited about the program. And again, that's one of the things about ongoing martial arts that we think are so great is that ability to offer the program.
Other programs.
Well,
I'm just saying that because my name.
I like that. I didn't catch it the first time. No, but it's so important to be able to have programs that people can come into and they can have a good experience and take something useful away from them, or they can stay with it and find something really meaningful that they can go on a really good personal journey with. And honestly, that's one of the things that we're so grateful about our program being at the Keller Pointe is that we're able to offer those services and experiences.
Well, I love it. You get a hat because everybody gets a hat. I don't know if you're a hat guy. Are you a hat guy?
I have.
Or do you not like it to mess up your hair?
I wear hats.
I can't. Are you a hat guy? You don't have to wear it.
Yeah, it's good to mess your hair up. It's good to protect. No,
good, yeah. I mean, I think because it protects your skin.
That's right.
Just everybody on the show gets that as a gift, and
I'm flattered.
They're very beautiful. Yeah, you look gorgeous.
It's a great blue.
It is a great blue. So, would you like to close it out with me with our official ending?
Okay.
We look at the center camera.
Yeah.
And then when we're done, you look at that one.
Okay.
And end it with get to the point.
Get to the point.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, then we're gonna wrap it up. Ready?
Yep.
Okay. What are you? You gotta do it with me.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Ready? Action. What are you waiting for? And then look at your camera.
Get to the point.